better than the last two.
Yeah.
Didn't expect much from Sheffield United or Leeds, and mildly hopeful today that they'll bounce back and get something from the game. To be honest, need to try and start some sort of winning run to make the season look a bit better than it is currently. Really.
Yeah. So do you put those recent struggles mainly down to the quality of the opposition, or do you think Norwich have improvements they need to make as well?
A bit of both. I mean, they're two of the three teams that are going to go up in automatics probably. Injuries have just ripped the side like straight down the middle. Centre back, striker, you just got not going to do any favours. But you can't have no shots on target in 180 minutes of football. You've got to try and create something. I'd like to see Sarge start today if he's sort of ready to, and hopefully just try and work off of him and then the young players around him get a bit more chance and slightly less pressure on them to do it all. That would be quite nice. Do
you think having Sargent back means they'll find it easier to create chances, or does he need other players to create them for him?
I hope so. I think it's if they just rely on him, I don't think it's going to change massively. They have to try and almost use him to take some of the pressure off the kids, and then also hopefully find players like Dobbin, who really hasn't had much of a look in yet, in a bit more space and see what they can do. But obviously give him the ball in and around the box, and he is much more dangerous than what we've seen the last few weeks, really.
What do you make of sort of the bigger picture? It feels like there's a bit of a divide among fans as to whether to sort of even write this season off and give Torup a bit of patience, or whether they should be achieving now.
I think you just have to stick with him. I think his philosophy and the general football being played is so much better, and the fact you're doing it without masses of key players like Kenny McLean being suspended for 8-ish games, Sainz now being suspended, Sarge being injured for most of the season, and to be honest, on the ball generally looking quite good, but even with the kids, playing out from the back sometimes is terrifying to watch, but I do enjoy it. A couple more signings now, a couple in the summer, and really hope for next season. I think whilst we're able to get playoffs this year, I think it's probably unlikely. And then build for next year, hopefully a real push.
Can I have a couple of score predictions for today's game?
I'm gonna be optimistic. I'll do 3-2 to Norwich.
Nice one.
2-0, I'm going to blindly predict we keep a clean sheet for a change.
Definitely confident.
Yeah.
You confident, are you?
A little bit, yeah.
No, I'm about 50-50 myself.
Yeah. Why is that?
Yeah. I just don't think we're not clicking at the moment.
Yeah.
We miss, obviously, Saints.
Yeah.
Who else we got out now?
Nunez.
Out,
Especially with Nunez out,
we just don't seem to bind properly. There's too much messing about at the back.
Far too much,
Would you like to see him get it forward a little bit quicker?
Definitely, definitely.
I mean, there's times where we do, like I say to you, Dana, where we do play about at the back and we'll release one of the defenders or the midfielder to run onto it and something exciting happens. But then we'll do something, we'll get out of trouble. And you think the break is on, but they'll just put the foot on the ball and play it back again, and that's really frustrating to see. Maybe today, if Sargent is starting, he might bring something
be a little
different.
Bit better in the final
because he can bring it down, bring other people into play then as well. We'll have to see.
Do you think it's the sort of opposition that Norwich will expect to beat? Obviously, Sheffield United and Leeds in the last couple of games. Does this feel like a bit of a better opportunity?
I think, you'd expect to beat him, but I'm still not that confident.
I think the next run of games we should expect the results.
It does feel like there's an opportunity to build a bit of momentum, doesn't there?
I think we should push up the table a bit, I think, but whether we'll make the top six, don't know.
Can I have a couple of score predictions for today's game?
2-1.
2-2.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like one where we didn't have to get out of fifth gear at the end of that, and we were still tearing through them, so good to see guys like Sargent back in the team, because we need players like that, obviously. It's been hard to try and keep it going without some of our best players, but it shows when we do get them in the team, we're more than good enough to be winning games in the Championship.
Yeah, it was a good show. It's my second time here at Carrow Road. Both times I've been, we scored 5, so I think I need to move here and get a season ticket.
Not bad that.
Pretty content with how we played. First half was a little bit dodgy, but the second half we looked really good, especially when we switched to that 4-4-2. I was surprised with how good Dobbin looked up front. So I thought that pretty good match for us. I'm content. But good time.
Did it feel like the sort of game that maybe wasn't really a 5-1?
Yeah, it almost felt like we fell into having that lead at the end there. We obviously they equalised. We then straight up the other end and got back ahead, and then after that, sort of cruise control really. And anytime we went forward, we looked like they were going to potentially let us through rather than having to force it.
Yeah, and I think we took our chances in the second half. I can't think of many opportunities that really went begging in that second half, which was really nice.
And it felt like once that first goal went in, Norwich got a bit of momentum behind them, and the performance was a bit better, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's always a bit the case at home. You just get that first goal in, it gets everyone sort of a bit more calmed down in a certain way, a little bit of people going. But I think after the last couple of games, just getting a goal in, we needed that. Just getting a shot on target, we needed that really.
It was pretty encouraging after the last few games, wasn't it, in terms of what Norwich have been like. I suppose to get that number of goals when they have struggled in offensive areas was a real positive.
Yeah, and I think it's nice. We saw a couple players coming back from injury. Sargent's first start, Cordoba came back. Just kind of good to see. Good to see a couple of different players kind of make a return, and for us to finally be starting to find that form after we've had so many injuries and suspensions, it's good to see. Yeah,
you mentioned Sargent being back. Obviously, a couple of goals today. How big is he for this team, and now being back?
I mean, he's huge. You see, he's the one who's very much a proper classic number 9 up front, having that focal point. That guy will make the runs in behind, he'll put himself about the challenge and stuff, and he will be in the box to score the chances at the end. We've been putting a lot of square pegs and round holes up there, like Svartau, like Hernandez, who aren't really strikers. They'll do the run and they'll try hard, but they don't know where to be to score the goals. So I think just having that focal point up top is, is crucial. You can't really get away with not having it if you're trying to score a lot of goals.
Was there anyone else who impressed you individually? I know you mentioned Dobbin.
Yeah, I mean, his first half I wasn't so sure, but him as striker I actually was interested in it. I wasn't sure how it would work out, and it seemed like he kind of pushed the back line a little bit with his pace. I also thought that Kenny had a pretty solid game in midfield. He just kind of, it's hard when you don't have Nunez there, so for him to kind of run that midfield kind of as himself, because Marcondes and Schwartau pushed up, it was impressive to see him kind of tuck in, and Stacey was really good when he came on in that second half. He was... he's definitely changed the game from the way that we were playing with Fisher.
Did it feel like there were a couple of players in there as well who maybe needed a bit of a confidence boost, in the likes of Sinats and Svartau, who put in pretty good performances?
Yeah, I think especially with saying Svartau there, it's him being able to play in the middle again. He's obviously he's one that's been, he's an 18-year-old lad, first time abroad playing football. He's been putting a lot of he's played all over the place basically. So I think playing him actually playing his position, he can show what he can really do. And you forget that he's 18 all the time out there. He's such a young lad, but looks so confident, doesn't look out of place at all. So same with Mahovo as well, left back for his first professional start. Didn't look out of place in the slightest. Looked very confident on the ball as well. So it's very good, I think, seeing the younger lads come in and feel like they're already part of the team.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the wider picture, are you hoping that Norwich can push for the playoffs this season, or is it sort of patience and building for next season?
It feels like one where we could sneak into the playoffs. If we get all the players, if we have every player available more often, then we possibly could. But it feels more like it could happen, but I'm not expecting it. It feels like next year, when a lot of these lads have had a year playing for us, they'll be much better. Like we've seen it before, guys like Sarah back in the day, like Vrancic and Steveman especially. You saw that first year they were all right, but that second year after they had a full season, then a full pre-season at the club, those players will become better. So I think next year is where I'm sort of more having expectations in there, because these younger lads we've brought in will have a year under their belt in the championship at the club. It won't feel like it's a new thing. So getting that second season, I think will be a big improvement. Hopefully.
Surprising.
I think to be honest with you, they were the better side in the first half, really, weren't they? I think they rolled over towards the end. I think 5 was really flattering, but also just nice to see 5 goals at Carrow Road.
Yeah, it felt like one where Norwich sort of needed one to sort of spark their performance, didn't it, a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, and just good to see Sarge back getting a brace as well. That was really good to see what a recognised striker can do. It feels a bit better having that.
Yeah, how big is it to have him back now from injury?
Massive. Well, it depends how long now he's fit for as well. If he can actually keep him fit for the rest of the season, we can push up the league a bit, but if not, then it's the same problem before. We're going to miss chances.
But it was good because Cernak looked quite good when he came on as well, and he looked hungry for it, which was really good.
Yeah, his goal will be important for his confidence, won't it?
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of people comparing his price tag to Morgan Whitaker because it's just gone, but he's a lot younger, still got a lot to learn. You can see he's improved a lot already, so it's good to see him doing that.
Yeah, and what are your sort of wider expectations for the season? You mentioned pushing up the table. Do you think they can get into the top 6, or is that a bit ambitious?
Well, I hope so, because I got a bet with my dad, so I'd like to make some money off it. But I think it's still a possibility. Like, we're not far off. Players back like Nunez will help, but I think very much depends what happens around us, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the aim would have to be top 6, wouldn't it? But I honestly don't think it would happen. That'd be a best case scenario because we just concede way too many goals. So.
What did you make of Lucian Mahovo on his first start for the club?
Good,
that was
I thought he was very good. It was quite nice to see him come off because he got that standing ovation as well. Like he got to take that acclaim from the crowd. But I thought he was very good when he came on. And actually, the Crescente sub was quite good. He made an impact, didn't he? So.
And Lewis Dobbin as well. He looked pretty good at the other end, scoring his first goal for the club.
Yeah, he's very good to have as a number 2, isn't he, for Science? I'm sure Science
he's playing.
Science when he's back, but it's good to have.
Yeah.
It was never a 5-1 game.
No.
But you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, always nice to see 5 goals at Carrow Road, isn't it? Yeah.
Who was your favourite goal scorer? Josh Sargent.
Yeah. Yeah, how good is it to have him back in the team?
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And it was probably the sort of performance Norwich needed after their recent games, wasn't it?
I think so. Bit of confidence, lots of goal scorers.
Yeah.
It's a good result.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely.